What's going on, ladies, gentlemen, and germs? My name is AK, and I'll be your intrepid host for this video, as always. I think I said that in the reverse. This might be the 7,000th take, which doesn't matter. Sanity aside, this video will be complete. So, this video is all for the Christmas noobs, the people who are picking up the game for the first time. Hello, welcome to the community. We're not as toxic as everyone seems to think we are, although there are a couple of people that will tell you to fuck your mum. Or that they have, in fact, fucked your mum. So, just putting that out there so you're aware that that is some of the things you might hear. However, I do find the Call of Duty community generally are quite welcoming and accepting of new players, even though they do like to shit on noobs, which is a term you might hear a lot in Reddit, if you're actually part of Reddit, but I wouldn't suggest it, not because Reddit is bad, but because unfortunately the internet is a wonderful place for people to be anonymous. Anyway, so I need to digress because that was a bit of a weird intro, so let me try this again. In the background, you'll notice that I have spawned and died quite a few times. The reason for this, unfortunately, is the spawns in Call of Duty in certain maps can be manipulated, I would say. I don't know if people are manipulating it on purpose, but it is just one of those things where sometimes you will spawn and you will immediately die. And there's not a lot you can really do about that. You just got to shrug it off. Okay, the Call of Duty gods are obviously angry with me. I'm obviously not helping my team that much, whatever. But I'm going to try and instill some tips for yourself from someone who plays the game and I genuinely enjoy this game. To give you an idea of how much I genuinely enjoy this game, okay, the Season Pass came out, alright, the Battle Pass, whatever you want to call it, and there's a 60-day, time limit on it, okay. I have completed the Battle Pass, and there are about 38 days left, so that gives you a bit of an indication of, point of phrase, how much of a sweatlord I am over this game. But you know, I genuinely enjoy it. It's one of the few games I play at the moment that I have a lot of fun playing. If you have a lot of friends who also play this game, a big tip here would be to play together, play with a group. Use your microphones. If you've got a new headset, fantastic. If you haven't, doesn't matter. No matter what headset you've got, just talk to one another. Communicate. Tell the what you'll hear in the game when you're playing is your teammates or your sort of teammates, operators, calling out different areas of where the enemies are. If you look at the top of your screen, you'll see the compass at the top. That actually tells you the names of places where you're at. So for instance, at the moment I'm sat next to the generators. So that'll be information to know. The compass is your friend. It takes place of the minimap ping, so when an enemy shoots, instead of appearing on the minimap, unless it's a UAV and they're not using Ghost, however, they'll ping on the minimap regardless. So that's actually pretty good. I prefer the sort of the compass at the top, even though it seems like it's in a really awkward position because it's at the top of your screen. You sort of get used to using it. It's more of a sort of peripheral vision thing. You see that enemies are on the map. You see where the red dots are going, and it sort of gives you a good idea of distance as well. So you can tell how far the enemies are. You can tell if they're above or below. It's actually pretty useful. So, what are we going to talk about here? We're going to talk about guns. So when you first start off, the assault rifle you're going to have probably from the beginning is the Kilo 1. This is a very good all-round assault rifle. Generally pretty useful. It's not particularly powerful, but it is really good. It's got a lot of M4A1 qualities, and we'll get into that quite quickly. Once you've unlocked the M4A1, I suggest working on that. People say it's overpowered. I personally don't think it's overpowered. I think it's a good gun. It's a good gun because, well, I don't want to say this really because this isn't a realism. It's real life. It is a video game, obviously, and there are certain caveats that we have to understand about that. But from a realism standpoint, the M4A1 has been a part of the US military's arsenal for a lot longer than it probably should have been. It's been upgraded and revamped and reused, and it's got wonderful things that you can attach to it for the murder of innocent people, or not so innocent people, depending on your standpoint. But I don't know. So that's why I think, honestly, the gun in this game is particularly overpowered, to coin a phrase, because it's a very versatile weapon. It's very useful. You can use it in a lot of situations. You can make it long range, close range, medium range. You can put more attachments on it than anyone in the Gulf War would ever had in the 1990s. You can put grenade launchers, thermal sights. It's crazy to put on there. But all I would suggest is when you get the gun, less is more. Okay, longer barrels, even though it sounds strange, will actually increase or decrease rather the amount of recoil that you sort of perceive in the game, and will help you control that recoil a bit more. All of the guns, as far as I'm aware, have sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Predictable recoil patterns, so they'll sort of do the same thing most of the time, so you can sort of get used to it. There is a bit of like variance in that. Sometimes when you shoot guns, they don't always go the way you want them to, but the recoil patterns on most guns tend to be the same, regardless of what they are. Well, I say regardless of what they are, they tend to be the same for each gun. So each gun's got its own sort of recoil pattern. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, probably should have clarified that. I have to digress a lot. It's terrible. Anyway, one of the first snipers you're probably going to unlock in terms of a real sniper rifle is probably going to be the HDR. Not my particular favourite gun. I prefer the AX-50. That comes later. But what you do is pick out your sniper rifle for faster ADS. So you want to have like stippled grip tapes. There are certain stocks called like Hunter variants, and what they do is they increase aim walking speed. They do increase ADS speed slightly, but it's not much. Even though it appears, according to the graph that you look at, that the whatever you're attaching can sometimes reduce ADS speed. So, for instance, if you put a sniper rifle scope, like a variable zoom, like my AX-50 has a 17-inch barrel, has all of the stuff to make it ADS fast, and like stock and grip-wise, and that's about it. But if you put the variable zoom on there, even though it seems to say that it reduces mobility, which is your ADS speed essentially, it actually doesn't. It seems to make it slightly faster, only slightly, but I think it's mainly because it has a lower power zoom. But anyway, certain people like using sniper rifles, other people don't. When you get the Kar 98K, that's probably the best weapon in this game. A lot of people seem to think the 75 is God. Honestly, the 75 is a very good shotgun, and you will get killed by it a lot. But in all honesty, it's not the best gun. The Kar 98K can kill a person in one hit, as long as it's upper torso and you've got a long barrel on it. Indefinite ranges. Well, ranges that you wouldn't need to worry about in these sorts of maps. If you're playing on ground war, however, you might struggle to get one-hit kills all the time. And in those situations, I would suggest using a sniper rifle. But again, long-distance shooting in this game, especially with a smaller barrel, you're going to struggle to actually get those one-hit kills. Now, if you're not like me and you don't like running around completely handicapped with a sniper rifle when everyone is using fully automatic weapons, then stick to things that you know, guns. As I said, less is more. There are certain attachments that make guns better, obviously. Bigger barrels, longer barrels make things easier to control recoil-wise, and shorter stocks, or removing the stock entirely, will increase ADS speed exponentially, but it does increase the way the gun sort of jitters and jumps around while shooting. So be aware of that. As far as perks go, I would say that I run the same 3 perks pretty much on all my classes, and I run perk specialists, so I don't actually have kill streaks because I don't really see the point in them. They just sort of give you false hope, and whenever you're 2 kills away from a chopper gunner, what are you doing when you're playing the game? You're focusing on the fact you're 2 kills away from a chopper gunner, and not focusing on the dude sneaking up behind you about to do a finishing move. Pro tip, if you see someone completely unawares, hold the melee button behind them and you'll do a finishing move, but don't do this if there's lots of people around you, because it takes a little while to do it, and you can get killed mid sort of performing it, and that'll sort of end you. But anyway, this is just a little quick guide. I say a guide. You know, it's more of me talking a load of shit, and whether or not you like it or not is irrelevant. Hi, my name's AK, and I'm weird. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Dislike. If you didn't like the content, hit that subscribe button and tickle your bell. If you don't do that, then come on. I'm your host, AK, and as always, I'll see you in the next iteration. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That's about it, really. Yeah. Hopefully I didn't waffle on too much. Although I am technically waffling on now, but whatever. Oh, you're still here. Oh, well, that's great. Well, I'm going to pop off, make myself a cup of tea. Feel free to click on whatever video takes your fancy, really. Oh, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and everything else, including Kwanzaa. Bye.